Alright, welcome back to another Pioneer 700 video. In today's video, I'm going to be disassembling the front of the Pioneer, and what I'm going to be doing is plastic dipping the fenders and the hood. So why am I doing that? Well, two reasons. Number one, to protect it. Number two, I don't like the color. So I want the Pioneer to be all black. And I don't really care for the orange color. Even though this is the Deluxe model with the painted fenders, it's just not really what I like. My first Pioneer 700 was all black, and that's what I really want to do to this one too. So, to do that, it's not really too hard. There's just quite a few steps involved, so we're going to kind of step through that together. I'm going to be removing the headlights, obviously the fender and the hood, and in another video I'll be replacing the headlights with some LED headlights as well, so it's all going to be kind of done at the same time but broken up into a couple different videos. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and just remove the hood first, set that somewhere safe. Alright. And you also want to disconnect your battery, which is under the seat. Okay, if you look, there's a lot of these little black plastic clips all over, and that holds a lot of the panels together. If you just take a small flathead screwdriver and you pop it in here, you just pry it up, then these will come out when you take the center pin out, just like that. They're just like a push fit. So just be kind of careful with them. You don't want to break them, you don't want to lose them. Once you get them out, they just come out like that. And you can see that's the only thing kind of holding this piece on there. Keep on doing them. There's a couple more across the front here. And there's two more on this side. Alright, so there's a couple more pins they need taken out over here. So there's two of those push pins, and then there's a 5mm Allen key right here. It'll come out, and then up on the top, on both sides, you have another push pin here that needs to come out. So I'm gonna go ahead and take those all out. Alright, so once we've got all that stuff out, there's some bolts that we need to take out. So there's one here and one here. These look like 10mm. And then if you peel back the dashboard here, you'll see there's one hiding under there. And on this side, there's one hiding under there. So we need to take all those out. A little 1/4" impact makes this a lot easier. So under the hood here, you need to remove the fuse panel cover. Then there's a couple of, there's your relay pack here. That pries out. Alright, so this comes out like this and can be removed as a assembly. The harness just pulls out. We've got a couple more 10mm bolts hiding. There's one right here, and then one on that side over there. Alright, so if we go under the fender here on both sides, we've got a 10mm bolt here. It bolts this frame piece to the bottom of the headlight assembly, and there's a couple screws that hold it to the front here. And while it's not completely necessary to take the screws out now, I'm gonna have to separate the black plastic around the headlights from this body panel anyway. And while I'm under here, I'm also just gonna pop out these two on both sides right here. just lets the whole front come loose. All right, so as you can see at this point now, the whole front end is completely loose and ready to come off. So just need to go through, there's a couple more wiring connectors here that we need to just pop loose. And the best tool for that is one of these, the cat claws. You just pop that out of there like that. See, so this side is loose. Over here, we'll just take a pair of pliers, compress that, and pop those out of there. All right, so it looks like top screws on the headlight assemblies. There's still 2 screws on the top that are holding this headlight assembly to the fender. But turn it over here where you can see. That's loose. There's that fender. This fender is completely loose. Okay, so got everything off. I'm gonna go ahead and give everything one last cleaning using a little bit of ammonia-free cleaner. Make sure there's no grease or dirt or anything on here to prevent the plastic from adhering like it's supposed to. Doesn't have to be, you don't want to scuff it up like you would paint, obviously. We're not trying to ruin this finish. It's a nice thing with plastic, you can always take it off later. Okay, so here's our plastic dip. Like I said, I'm using black. Use whatever color you want. Spray it just like spray paint. Shake it for a couple minutes. Apply first coat, not too heavy, 6 to 10 inches away. You want to allow 30 minutes between coats and minimum 3 or 4 coats. That's about how your first coat's going to look. You don't want to go too nuts. All right, that will be coat number 1. So we'll give that a half hour and we'll do another coat. All right, so the first coat is dried. It's been a half hour. It's time for another coat. You can see it looks really good when it dries. Let's go ahead and get another coat put on here. All right, so there is coat number 2 completed. All right, we just got the 4th coat on. It's getting dark outside, but you want your last coat to be a pretty wet coat, but obviously not so much that it's gonna run anywhere. And it will look kind of rough when it's wet, but as it dries, it will smooth out. It's kind of a satin finish. So it says it takes 4 hours to dry, but obviously I'm gonna let this sit overnight and we'll take a look at it in the morning, see how it turned out. All right, so it's the next day. Here's our finished product. You can see how it dried. Nice, rubbery, uniform texture. Turned out real good. So the last thing to do is put everything back on the vehicle. You want to be extra careful when you're putting these back on. They don't scratch this. You know, if you can let it sit for a few days, that's better. All right, so here's the finished product with the plastic dip. And it turned out really good. I know some of you are probably wondering what the longevity is on this, how it's going to hold up, going through some brush. Well, I bet you if you hit something pretty hard, it could take it off. This stuff is meant to be peeled off, and it can get scratched up. But the good thing is, it's really easy to touch up. If you do get a scratch, all you have to do, just mask off anything you don't want painted, touch it up real quick, it'll fill in, it'll level itself out, and you won't even be able to tell that there was a scratch. And if you don't like it, you can always peel it off and do something different. So I think it's a really good option. It's too bad Honda never made the Pioneer 700 in black like this, because I think a lot of us would either have bought it or would just buy the plastics. It's a really good look. Matches the factory plastic really good. Gives it a really mean, almost Pioneer 1000 look, in my opinion. All right, so maybe you got an idea what you could do to your machine. It's pretty simple. You just got to take all the parts off if you want to do it right. You could do it with it on here and just mask off everything, but you're probably going to have problems with adhesion and stuff peeling. It's better if you wrap it, just like if you were painting something. If you wrap the corners, you want to get as many coats as possible, at least 3 or 4. Makes it last longer, and it makes it come off easier, actually, if you ever want to take it off. So if you liked it, be sure to like the video. I'll leave a link below to the materials that I used in this project, as always. And if you have any questions, leave a comment. Until next time, we'll see you later.